And James, just like that, Man City put themselves in pole position to win the Premier League, fourth consecutive Premier League, I might add. And obviously, I just want to get your reaction to the game. You're the Arsenal fan. You know all the kind of the jokes prior to the game. Spurs are trying to lose. Their chances of making Champions League weren't good. They'd rather City win the league than Arsenal win the league. They'd never hear the end of it. Plenty of opportunities for Spurs to at least take the game to a draw. What did you make of the game? The Son chance, Ortega having to come on, and what he was forced into doing to keep this Man City title hope well and truly at the front.
A bit of a weird game, Jack. Quite
Yep.
slow pace. I felt Spurs build up. Usually Spurs is high tempo, getting the ball out wide. Madison just getting that ball moving. It wasn't quite that today, and I think maybe the reason behind it was being Arsenal and just even like that, Jack. Even the fans in general, they weren't really pushing like you know what it's like when you go away to Spurs from minute 1 to minute 90, the fans are pushing them through the line to get a goal. It wasn't like that. At all, City. Quite slow paced game. City had a lot of space down the left hand. Down the right hand side with Kyle Walker getting in time and time again. Sometimes I'm sometimes losing out to the offside trap. But a game that if you were City, you felt comfortable with, but at the same time worried because you didn't kind of take the lead in that first bit. But once that first goal went in, all the nerves settled, and you didn't really think it was going to be an issue. There comes a moment in a title race, there comes a moment in a game where you point out, that's it. That is it. And Ederson's going to get all the pros because he's played there for the majority of the city of the season. He's been there, best goalkeeper for many, many years. But that said, from Ortega is something else. You talk about clutch. You talk about big moments there. It is so clutch. But I'm going to say something right now. I think Son kind of purposely missed that. That's just That's just my opinion because you look at Son's record out there. It's very good, and also Jack. The fact is, Ortega was well off his line. I felt like, especially for Son being a top level finisher, a pass to the side wasn't as on compared to a chip over or even taking it around him. I don't know. It was to me unlike a Son. Because Son in that situation is usually ice cool. He's taking the time. He's picking his spot. Maybe I should give the goalkeeper more credit than anything else, and maybe because I'm a bitter, salty Arsenal fan who wanted my team to have the advantage. I get that, but at the same time, Son don't miss opportunities like that, especially running through on goal. But overall, Jack, with Manchester City, what can I say? What can we say?
I am bored. I know you know my thoughts of this. I'm bored. I'm impressed, but I'm still bored. I was impressed but bored in Bayern Munich. I was impressed but bored at Barcelona. I think Pep Guardiola plays really, really boring football. I think it's bad entertainment value. I think it's bad football. I'm completely over it. Again, impressive, yes. Has it changed every league that he's ever entered? Absolutely. Has it changed international football? Absolutely. I remember watching a highlight from one of the playoff finals from like League Two or the Premier South or something, and I saw the winning goal being because the left-sided centre-back was trying to play through the lines to his holding midfielder in like the 6th division of English football. So his influence and all this stuff is come and it's gone. But I'm sick. I'm so sick of this football. I don't enjoy it. It's not fun for me as a viewer. And I hope they get the book thrown at them. They get relegated multiple leagues, and we don't have to deal with Pep and his BS anymore because it's made it not fun. I don't understand how you can take a Premier League and turn it into a Bundesliga, turn it into a Serie A, turn it into a French league where you have just a team that is just outclassing everybody else. With Jurgen Klopp gone, again, it's just another potential trip hazard that Man City now can completely avoid. The way I see it, James, going forward, I think Manchester United are years away. Newcastle, because of the financial restrictions, are years away. Chelsea are years away. The only real threat is your team is going to be Arsenal going forward. I've been wanting to ask you this question and find the right video and the right time to ask this question. I think Alexander Isak is the missing piece of the puzzle for Arsenal. Now, maybe not just him. Maybe it is just an out and out killer centre forward that Arsenal need. But what do you need this time next year for Arsenal to beat this Manchester City side, who I'd like to say are going to make some additions? There's going to be some players brought in here for this Man City team. They will get stronger again. So what do Arsenal need to take that next step? They could still win the league, but I think we'd both agree it's unlikely on Sunday.
I feel like I want to kind of do this in a separate video.
Okay.
But you mentioned, Jack, you mentioned the striker. Alexander Isak would be an incredible addition. That with another wide player, and I'm not talking about just a makeshift wide player. I'm talking about an elite level wide player that can come in and beat a player on that, especially on that left hand side. A Rafael Leao, somebody who's going to take us off our seat. Somebody who's going to be an individual match winner. Because right now we have a great players who play in a great system. Yeah, I think the system's greater than the actual players.
I agree.
I want a player who's beyond the system, who can do something that other players can't. So we're looking for that 80 to 100 million pound wide player who can score goals and just make Arsenal go above the edge, in these sort of games where it's really, really tight, we're kind of struggling to create. Give him the ball, he will do something crazy. It's a bit like in basketball. You have your superstars there who, when everything's going wrong, you dump it over to him like a KD, a Steph, and just and think about let them do their magic. But Jack, I just want to harp on the Man City thing.
Yeah.
And it's boring. I get it. But at the same time, I have to appreciate how great he is and
It's
how
amazing.
great this team is.
Yeah.
Like they're about to win 4 Premier League titles in a row. Yeah, no team has ever won 4. In fact, there's only been 2 teams who been able to go back to back, and that's Manchester United on a number of occasions with Sir Alex Ferguson and also Jose Mourinho. It is so hard to consecutively win the league. This man, it's so hard to win 4 in a row. Yeah, this man has done incredible things in the Premier League. The fact that he won a domestic treble, yeah, the fact that he won and like a treble with the Champions League, 100 points, Jack, just took in the game to another level. The amount of domestic trophies he won in the League Cup, won 4 in a row. He's now about to win 4 Premier League titles in a row. This is something that is beyond belief, and people talk about the finances, yeah, but when you look at the numbers, Jack, when you actually look at the numbers. Chelsea has spent more than them. Man United has spent more than them since he's joined. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is not innuendo. That is fact. Yeah, there have been teams who spend more than them. Yeah, as much as money makes a big difference. Yeah, I'll tell you what makes big. How good your damn coach is, and he is one hell of a coach. He is the best coach. And Pep Guardiola, he might not be there for as long as Sir Alex Ferguson, but he's making a claim to be the Premier League GOAT in my eyes. 4 in a row, and Jack, I'm gonna say this right now. Don't be surprised if he wins it next year. If he wins it next year, honestly, granted, Sir Alex Ferguson won 13 league titles in like 20 odd years. If Pep Guardiola wins his 5th league title in a row next season, obviously he needs to get the job done against West Ham. But we all expect him to do that. Sure. If they go on next year to win it, in my eyes, he will be the greatest Premier League manager of all time. Yeah, sometimes you're doing it for a shorter period of time. It's greater than like doing it for a longer period of time. Because that would be how many titles? That would be 7 titles in 9 years. Right now, we're looking at, 6 titles in 8 years. The dominance is unbelievable. And we talk how great the Premier League is and all that. No, the Premier League is Man City's bitch. That's what it is.
Yeah.
And it's Pep Guardiola's bitch. And I hate to curse, and I'm probably going to lose a couple of viewers from that, but it's just a damn true. It's just a damn true.
Well, and again,
just one more thing, Jack. This notion that we keep on saying, oh, they're under fire, they've lost Gundogan, they've lost Mahrez, it's not a strong enough team. Man City haven't been good. They haven't won in under the big 6 games this season. All that sort of stuff there. Yeah. Oh, Man City haven't played well. They're about to finish with 92 points, Jack.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
90, Jack. They're going to finish with 92 points, and 27 to 29 wins. Like, come on.
Yeah. It's
It's ridiculous.
it's unbelievably impressive. The only other two things that I want to touch on, one of them's kind of funny, and the other one I just want to kind of open up the conversation. James, this spit thing that Pep does is got to go. I don't know if his wife or his kids or some of the players need to say it, but this whole thing where he gets like a little kind of spitball in his mouth and he kind of like pushes it out with his tongue and then puts it back in his mouth. And there was a point earlier in the game where he spat and it was like it landed on himself. You could see it on his sweater. That's so gross. That has to go. It's so horrible. Every time it cuts to him, he's doing this spit thing with his mouth. I think it's so disgusting. Anyway, moving on to a slightly
Okay, yes.
moving on to a
Jack,
slightly more serious topic. Oh, you want to touch on that? You go ahead.
can we please cut that bit out, please? Could you please cut that bit out? Just no, we don't need to hear that.
I just think it's gross. That's all. I just think it's gross. Somebody's got to tell him. James,
That's fair.
This Rodri undefeated streak. Are we saying he's kind of been lucky for the games that he's missed? Or are we really talking about this guy that is one of the most, if not the most important part of this Man City team? Because, James, it's getting kind of silly now. Anything where it's like 38 Premier League games, you go, wow, that's a whole Premier League season. That's unbelievably impressive. We're getting into like 2+ seasons worth of games where we're looking at a guy and going, oh my God, when is this guy going to lose a football match? It's absolutely incredible. Am I over egging his importance? Because, I think this guy is the best player in the world. I don't think he gets enough credit. It's not sexy. It's not cool. Of course, it's not. He plays in this position, which is kind of dead. But what he cuts out, what he allows the players around him to do, I think he is so vital. And to me, this win streak just blows up his importance to this team. Are you agreeing with
Um,
that, or do you think it's a little bit of an overstep?
no, 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 Jack. This is incredible. This is actually incredible because this is not just in the Premier League. This is in all competitions, Jack. In all competitions, look at the teams Man City have played against in the Champions League. They played Real Madrid twice. Jack, this guy is ridiculous. They've been away to Anfield. He's been away to Anfield, Old Trafford, Stamford Bridge. He played against Arsenal. Listen, the man, in my eyes, this season, people ask me who's the player of the season. People may say Declan Rice. People may say Phil Foden, Haaland, Kevin De Bruyne. It's Rodri. Rodri from start to finish has just been sensational. And Jack, when they do the little ratings of like how good a player's been, like the actual ratings of it, every week, Jack, he's what an 8 point,
Yeah,
an 8.2, 8.3. It's listen, his standards are so up there. He plays in one of the hardest positions to play in world football, and he makes it look easy. And I'm telling you this, when I'm looking at my Premier League all-time defensive midfielder, he's carving up a place where he could be the number one.
right. I agree.
That's he's playing. And when we look at a player like Sergio Busquets, in my eyes, he will never get to that level. Yeah, in my eyes, he won't be. I can't say he won't get to that level, but he won't be greater than Sergio Busquets in the style of play that I'm looking for. He might be second. Honestly, Jack, it is that good from this boy. He is incredible. He's not particularly like athletic or anything like that. The way he reads the game, how physical, how physical he is at times when he's on the ball, how he makes Man City tick. And the biggest thing for me, Jack, yeah, upon all the good stuff that he does off the ball, and even on the ball with the way he's passing, Jack, he also scores big important goals. He's just a different level of like football player. Big up, honestly, big up to Rodri in what he's been able to do. The player of the season, yeah. Don't let anybody else fool you. Yeah, let's
Right.
give it to the proper player.
And
Rodri, the player of the season.
yeah, and guys, defensive positioning, when you watch it, may not necessarily be the coolest thing ever that you ever watch. But I always urge people that I'm ever watching football with, or you guys, subscribers, viewers on the channel, any player that you're just intrigued by, you're interested in, watch them for 10 minutes. Watch them with the ball, watch them without the ball, watch them interacting with their teammates, all this stuff. Just keep an eye on somebody like Rodri and see how pivotal he is. Like I said, it's not sexy, it's not cool, but the value is there. And the fact he hasn't lost a Premier League football match or a football match at all in like 65, 70 football matches now, I cannot
I'm in
tell you
pain,
how
my
much
man.
of an
I'm in pain.
insane achievement that is. That is absolutely unbelievable. Um, James, scale of 1 to 10. What is your optimism that Arsenal can get it done? That City drop the ball come Sunday and the Arsenal Premier League champions. 1 being no confidence, 10 being guaranteed.
Out of 10, I'll give it a 1. But
Really?
that one is that one is like my belief in the Most High and my belief in everything else. In the but nah, Jack. Listen, David Moyes saying about, oh, they're on the freaking beach and they're going to remain professional. They're showing up there, Jack, to lose. He might even play some youngsters there. Yeah, no chance, no chance.
I tend to agree with you. I would also say that I think, Everton are probably going to try and take great delight in trying to stop Arsenal as well. So I don't think, but I will say, James, crazier things have happened. The Aguero moment, the Balotelli assist to Sergio Aguero, crazier things have happened. So I think I'm going to hover around a 3 in terms of confidence that maybe, just maybe, something will happen. Maybe Jared Bowen and this West Ham team can pull something out, and maybe
You,
Arsenal can pull off the win.
you know what? What I'm expecting is Man City to make it a little bit difficult for themselves. West Ham might take the lead. And you know what Man City does? They like to make it a little bit interesting, and then they usually get over the line. As all we do, win our game, and watch City lift the trophy.
Ladies and gentlemen, what did you make of this game? Very weird vibe. Wasn't a huge fan of the Spurs fans and their attitude towards the game going forward. I think Postecoglou and the players kind of tried their hardest given difficult circumstances, but I think the Spurs fans kind of let the side down in the stadium here. Man City look in pole position to get their 4th Premier League title in a row. Are we looking forward to these 115 charges coming in and them getting backhanded? Or should we just sit back and marvel at what we're seeing? Box to box football, James and Jack, and we will see you guys next time.